That's okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women's Health Forum interview panelists. Every week, I'm interviewing someone absolutely magnificent that's going to be answering your questions on April 21st. That's a Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central. So I'm so grateful and honored to have a really wonderful kind, compassionate, transformational person on right now, Betty Sue O'Brien. She's my natural physician, and I've gotten very, very close to her through the years. So for those of you who don't know Betty Sue O'Brien she taught in Gulf Coast Community College for 25 years. In the past 15 years, she's devoted her life to helping people like me and so many others around the country and around the world through their healing journeys, right? And she's also an iridologist. So she's also written 4 books. And Betty Sue, can you hold up 6 weeks to a healthy lifestyle, please?
Yes, ma'am. I will. Whoop, gotta go that way. There you go.
Yeah. I have this book. Is absolutely wonderful. If anybody wants to start something, just do a little bit of a change slowly, this is the way to do it. 6 weeks. And then we also have, do you have Going Green, the smoothie way by any chance?
I do, but I don't have one in here, but it is available on Amazon, Going Green, the smoothie way. And it's really food-based smoothies. They don't all taste great, but they will heal your body.
Awesome. I love it. And then you have 2 more books, Causations.
Yes, I just republished this book, Causations, last month. And before we did not have full color, but now we have color all through it. So it's about how iridology and sclerology mix. It's kind of for a particular audience, but it's fun reading because it talks about the causative factors of health issues. That's what it's about.
And it's so important because we're always wondering, like, why?
Right.
It's important. And then the next one is Iridology, the Core Curriculum. Do you have that one as well?
Yes, this is the textbook that I use with my students and a lot of other schools use for teaching basic iridology classes.
Okay.
And it, again, is a full color book. And it teaches, from the beginning all the way through what someone knows to understand how to look at their own eyes or the eyes of others. But it is a textbook.
And so iridology looks, for those of you who don't know what that is, iridology is a way to see what's going on with your body. And so what Betty Sue and other iridologists do is they look through the iris and also through the white part, the sclera, and they can see so many things that are going on with your body right now. Is that a good definition of iridology?
It is. And interestingly enough, it's widely used. I've traveled many places, different countries in the world, where medical doctors, ophthalmologists, optometrists are using iridology in their practices. It's kind of slow going here, as usual. I wanted to show this too on the iridology subject. This is a little book, Color, Light, and the Chakras, and it's about the colors and the doctrine of signatures in food and in the iridology. So that's a little pamphlet. But this is my latest thing.
I use that one, by the way, with my patients because I do chakra MFR and I use your words and colors and all those beautiful things. So thank you for bringing that up. I love that book. So, and this one?
And by the way, this one's been rewritten and it took out the iridology and it really goes into all of my crazy spiritual experiences with the chakras. So that's out now too. This one is a chart. Oh, can't get that right. Energy iridology. And if you open it, it is the chart of how the chakras show up in your eyes. And then on the back, there is a map that explains each area of the eye and what it does, what affirmations to say, what essential oils to use, what flower essence to use, etc. So this is a really nice, and I'm going to be selling it. Anybody during this month can buy it for $20 instead of $30. So that's my introductory bargain.
And so how do we order these books and the chart that you just mentioned?
Everything's on Amazon except the chart, and it will be on BettySueO'Brien.com in the next day or so. I just haven't gotten it up there yet, but I got the pictures. So tomorrow we should have it on the website.
Oh, wonderful. So Betty Sue O'Brien, OBRIAN.com. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. So we're going to go right into it. So why herbal medicine? What's the big deal? Why should we be focused on that? Why can't we do just medications?
Well, you know, the way it was explained to me that made sense. And I'll be honest with you, I don't take any medicines, and I did not ever take any medicines. I was lucky in that, not having to do anything like that. But I was slow 20, 30 years ago in believing in herbs because natural things don't work like that. They don't, like, it's not like taking an Advil and it takes a little bit longer because it's fixing things. Mm-hmm. The reason for herbal medicine is that plant medicine, I believe God put plants in our area that are for what we need. In fact, I believe if you see plants growing weeds around your house, it probably means you need that weed for something. Now, don't just go picking everything up out of the ground. But in our medical herbalism classes, we actually teach people how to identify plants. We go on herb walks and we learn what plants are good for. But the difference in a medicine and a plant is one is inert. All medications are made from coal tar derivatives. That means they're made from petroleum, all of them. If you take a pill and put it in a spoon and light it with a fire, it will turn into tar. Mm-hmm. We call that in the body catarrh because your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it kind of plaques onto your arteries and your gut and sticks. Plants have a vibration. So if milk thistle is out there in nature doing this, and you take it, and your liver's doing this, but it needs a charge, when you take that milk thistle, it'll start, and pretty soon it's got the vibe. That's what plant medicine does. It gives your body the vibration that it needs to heal.
This is absolutely fascinating because then it correlates with the vibrations within your body, right? The energy frequencies. That is so cool.
Exactly.
And I know this is probably a little different for a lot of people, but it's just cool just to look at it. And I do want to just ask you right away, if anyone that's watching is interested in studying with you, because I know that you run the Southern Institute of Natural Health. Mm-hmm. So how do they go about connecting with you to learn and to...
I have several websites, but the school website is just southerninstituteofnaturalhealth.com, and you can look at the catalog and register for courses there. So right. It's pretty easy to find.
I know personally, many of my patients have taken your course and they're not even in the healthcare field. They just did it because they wanted to learn how to heal themselves through herbal medicine. So I just applaud you, Betty Sue, because all these years that I've known you, you've never stopped. You've never given up trying to share your beautiful information, and you're always trying to learn more every single day. So you're always giving new information, even though, this is ancient information, because my grandmother was an herbalist. I think that's
right.
I just kind of hooked up onto you because you remind me so much of that ability that you and my grandmother have to just go out into the street and look at these bushes and pick out these herbs. And it's like so overwhelmingly magical, So thank you for that. My second question, is what does a naturopath do though? So people are watching and they've never been to a naturopath.
Well, naturopathy is there's a book by the World Health Organization where they really define naturopathy. It's in every single country in the world. Naturopaths are the most prevalent people in our culture helping other people. It's really like neighbors, like your grandmother. Me in my neighborhood, my neighbors are always calling me up, hey, what do I do for this? What do I do for that? You know, my family. But my students are there oftentimes. They come to me as a client and end up studying, and they study because they want to be that person. And so when I retired from teaching, my stated goal, my vision board goal, was to have someone in every community that people could go to where they could get help. It doesn't mean they have to put out a shingle. It doesn't mean the naturopath has to open an office, but they can have an office in their home, or I started out actually in a physical therapy office. Some of my naturopath friends are in chiropractic offices, you know, but you go because you can find ways to improve your health that are non-invasive. Naturopaths in fact, I wanted to read you the principles about naturopathy. The very first is do no harm. The second is act in cooperation with the healing power of nature. So a naturopath would never use like propylene glycol or, you know, what's in mercury or any of the things that are in modern medicines, because they're not licensed. They don't know that. What they know is how to give you something to tonify your kidneys, something that will help you to naturally, for example, pass a kidney stone or dissolve your gout. Or Jackie, you and I have talked about women's issues. This is going to be a women's forum. Many women have fibrocyst or cyst on their ovaries or painful periods. And there are many herbs that are just perfect for the woman's body.
So let me jump in right now and make a little testament, because I had a very large fibroid many years ago, and I went to you, Betty Sue, and you were like, okay, you need to take some herbs. And so we kind of talked about different herbs, and Daryl Martin helped out as well. So I took 3 herbs because I was bleeding a lot, because my doctor, my gynecologist, wanted to do a hysterectomy. And so I went to you, and you're like, you know, a hysterectomy, you know, you can do it if you have to, right? It's not like we're kicking medicine out of our realm.
No
We're
way.
working with doctors. We honor doctors.
Yes.
But what happened was I went back to my gynecologist, and he respects you a lot. And I said, Betty Sue O'Brien told me to take these herbs and so on. And he goes, okay, where are they grown? I said, they're grown over there at Blue Boy Herbs and Carrier, Mississippi. And Betty Sue's telling me to do this and that. He goes, okay, good. Come back in 3 months. And so I came back in 3 months, and my fibroid and cysts had shrunk.
Yeah.
My bleeding had stopped in 2 weeks. So that's the power of plant medicine. And the second thing I wanted to say before you go on is that I want to really honor that everyone can see you virtually. You don't have to go to Betty Sue to see her. She can do iridology. She can do everything virtually. And so you have motivated me, Betty Sue, because I am now a virtual holistic.
I know, yay.
So now I'm treating patients virtually as well, because I do John F. Barnes myofascial release, so they'll have the 2 balls there. But I also do emotional freedom technique, because you were the very first one that showed that to me, the tapping. We'll do that one day. We're going to do that hopefully at the Women's Health Forum on April 21st as well, for everyone who wants to register. That's the little ticker thing that's going on the bottom. But okay, so yes, I just want to interrupt you, because anyone who wants to see you can just contact you and just do it virtually as well. So no matter where you are in the world, you can still see Betty Sue O'Brien.
Thank you. So one other thing I wanted to mention about naturopathy, when you said, why would you want to visit a naturopath? Is that the point of getting to the cause in a non-invasive means, if some naturopaths actually do order a lot of testing. I did do a lot of testing, But now I've just found that by looking at someone's face, their color, their hands, their eyes, their tongue, you get information. You get a lot of information. Also, naturopaths work with pH of urine and saliva and skin, and looking at, what do we need to balance? Where do we need to go? Because once the body is in balance, it starts to repair itself. So a naturopath says first the plant, then the pill, and then the knife. And the idea behind that is first the plant, then the pill, then the knife. The idea behind it is if you have a tumor in your ovaries, a benign tumor, for example, many people have cysts and tumors and fibroids and all those things, and they do surgery. When you take it out, or you take your gallbladder out, and did that really stop the problem? Because our body, our fluids, our interstitial fluids, are like a swimming pool. And if you think about it, if you have a fish in a fish tank and the pump quits working and the tank gets all dirty and your fish is going, blah, you can't breathe. And so you take the fish out of the tank and put him in clean water. Did that clean up that tank? No, the tank's still dirty. So if you're growing a cancer or you're growing a tumor, whatever it is that's growing in your body, it means you're out of balance. So the idea is not to do any harm, not to go against anyone's medical advice, but to support them and cleaning up their tank, and that's something a naturopath can help with. I have a lot of doctor friends who have taken my classes. I've had several medical doctors, dentists, who have taken my naturopath classes because they know there's more to health than just their little specialty. And most people take classes for themselves. And I wanted to mention, Jackie, this one, I wrote this manual for my traditional naturopath class. It's called the Holistic Health Practitioner Manual. But there are 5 modules in there, and they cover everything from essential oils to herbalism to flower essences to voltage to energy medicine to Reiki, the reconnection, to physical medicine and Ayurveda. And when a person takes a class like that, they heal. And the healer has to heal herself before she can help others. So,
Amen.
and I'm a work in progress. Okay. I admit all the time, there are days when I want to go straight from coffee to wine, but we're all human, right?
Human, yeah. And so it's so funny because now I'm drinking organic wine and I really can tell the difference for me.
Good.
Don't drink too much of it, but I do enjoy the organic. And you're the first one that, talked about the sulfites and sulfates in wine, and in all foods. A lot of foods have those preservatives. So Thank you so much. So I just really love, though, you, Betty Sue, because I don't know, do all naturopaths work with energy systems? Because when I see you or when I send you my patients, you are looking at everything, not only the skin and the eyes and the tongue, and you're touching, because that's what I do as well, but you also are feeling something, you're feeling their energy system. So do all naturopaths do that, or just a couple who do that?
I think it's different people. I think the beauty of naturopathy is that everyone has their specialties. Just like, you're a physical therapist, but you don't do what any other physical therapist does. Jackie's like a miracle worker here. Not that others aren't great, but, I send people to Jackie. I know they're going to get results. And so I have friends around the world that are naturopaths, and every one of us uses different modalities. I was really attracted from the beginning to energy work. When I got the image and the awareness that there is an unlimited amount of energy in the consciousness, and it's all available to us to heal. And so we can bring it to us and we can send it to other people. And it's unlimited. And that is not like any medicine in a drugstore. You can't have unlimited of anything that is man-made. But this ability for us to call on our higher power and to shape that into, manifest it into, it's just amazing. And I think we are on just the very, very fringes of understanding what that means. Now, so many medical doctors are so interested in using energy in their work. So it's very obvious that we're all starting to find out the power that is there.
Yeah, and that's the last question, because people are like, well, why do you need a naturopath? And for me, I really need a naturopath because I want to return to how my body can heal naturally. So we still
Right.
have the same DNA that we had 300,000 years ago. We haven't changed that much. That's why processed food is not even, it's like we eat this food and the body, and I'm a big gut and brain person like you are, Betty Sue, and the gut goes, well, what the heck is that? Oh, that's Cheetos. I don't really know what to do with that. So let me just push that aside because I don't really know how to break that down. And it does its best to break it down. But, it's just harder for the body. So for me, a naturopath comes in like a superhero and says, hey, why don't you start to think about this and maybe removing that a little bit, not a big change all in one. Just take it very slowly, starting to remove these things that are, like you said, keeping the fish tank so dirty. We are overworking the pancreas and the kidneys. I am shocked that we are now having dialysis in the home. There are companies.
I know, yeah.
I didn't know that existed. I knew that there was a lot of dialysis. So, people with kidney issues, severe kidney issues, they get dialysis and it's really tough on you. And now they're making it easier, thank goodness, and they go to your home. But we really shouldn't destroy our kidneys in the first place. They're so incredibly important. So I see our organ systems as divine, beautiful little spirit packages in our body, our heart, lungs. And I remember listening to reading an article about this doctor, this MD that went to study with a shaman in the middle of Brazil. And the shaman said to the doctor, make sure that you tell all of your patients that they have to talk to the body part. So if it's your leg, if your leg is hurting, you have to speak to the leg. What do you need, leg? How can I make you feel better? If it's your gut, if you're having digestive issues, which almost all of my patients are having digestive issues, Betty.
Right. Right.
So anyway, so I just wanted to add that because that's why I feel a naturopath comes in like a superhero, and we have this beautiful union of this MD or DO or whatever medical practitioner we have, and that beautiful naturopath, and then maybe we have a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, a speech pathologist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, but all working together. That's the most thing, because ultimately the doctor of the future is the patient, or can we say the patient now is the doctor? We are the doctor.
Yes, yeah. Thanks to Google, I'm afraid the patient is the doctor. But I did want to make one point, Jackie. I thought of, and I didn't get to it a minute ago. When you asked her, do all naturopaths do the same thing? I wanted you to know that there are actually 4 major schools in the United States that take college graduates with advanced degrees, and they go to school for 4 to 5 more years to become what is known as a medical naturopathic doctor.
Wow.
These people, I have a lot of friends that do that. They are in clinical settings. Their work is very much like medical doctors. They see patients every 10 minutes. They prescribe medications. They do minor surgeries. So there are naturopaths that use vitamins and herbs that also act as medical doctors. Now, they're not licensed in the state of Mississippi, but there are quite a few states where they are, like especially in the Midwest, or the far West rather. But what I wanted to say is I'm a traditional naturopath. I went to school in Boulder, but like so many naturopaths, we get our training from this school and this life experience and this workshop. Just as you teach myofascial workshops and teach people how to improve. So a traditional naturopath is like your grandmother. It's someone everybody goes to because they need help and they need someone to listen. But also, as I tell my clients, we can talk about your problems for 5 minutes because we've got an hour to get to the solutions. So we can't, I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't sit there and listen to all that over and over. Your story is your story. But a naturopath wants to find out why you're feeling that way. Is it because your heart chakra is broken? Is it because you're not getting enough sunlight on the top of your head? Is it because gravity's working against you? You need to get your feet in the air? It depends on what shows up. And so that's what the skills of a naturopath are, is to use natural things to try to support the body. And then a lot of times, invasive medical practices are not as necessary. So, it's to really save us. One thing is naturopathy is probably 1,000 times cheaper than medicine, but it still has to come out of your own pocket.
Right.
It's not covered by insurance. And so usually when people come, they will say, I've been to 25 doctors, I've been to Oshners, I've been here, I've been there, and I still have all the same problems. And so my job is to find out, why are they still having the same problems? Yeah. And I can tell you 150 stories of people who had that same story who solved their own problems.
Yes. And it's so funny because also grief, grief stays within the chest, metaphysically within the gut. Our within the chest, our emotions are in the gut. Really, they're everywhere, but there's metaphysically, with these emotions, carry that story with them, and they do affect us. But you're right. We just continue that story over and over again, and we have to get to the solutions. That's the most important thing.
Right.
But real quickly before we finish, so if someone said, well, how should I eat, Betty Sue? What foods should I be focused on right now?
In my 6 weeks, I go over the 80-20 rule. That's how I solved all of my health problems at one point. And that's what I follow. And it's 80% water-based foods. That means plants. That's things like any fruit, any vegetable. 20% dense foods. Now, dense is not just meat. It's meat, potatoes, rice. It's heavy foods. And so if we can go 80% water-based foods, things that would liquefy in your blender or your juicer, and 20% dense foods, that is the ratio of water inside your body to dense material, and your body will heal itself. So that's the ratio. Now, most people are doing 80 on the wrong side. They're doing 80% of the dense foods. So I try to get them to 50-50 starting out. Could we just go 50-50? Could we have one smoothie a day and 2 salads a day and whatever else you're going to have?
Right.
And usually people, when they start feeling better, they come around.
Yeah. And I love, just to finish off one more thing, I love that you always tell everybody to move your body, just do that 30-minute walk in the morning, because that is really making all the organ systems work and they're happy. Like, we have to have movement and we have to have deep right? You and I are really big on meditation and yoga and moving. I say moving because if I tell people to exercise, they're like, I don't want to exercise. No. It's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and go for a walk.
Watch this. Look, you see what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay, see my chair? Wait, can I get you a picture of it?
Oh, I love it. Yes.
And so if you're going to sit at a desk a lot, just go on Gaia.com and get you a ball desk. So I do this when I'm working on a book or whatever, I just bounce on my chair every 20-30 minutes, and you move your lymphatic system, you detox, you clean out your body.
I love you so much. Everybody, please register there. You see the little ticker tape thing going there. Go to thewomenshealthforum.org, and it's free. So we're going to be 5 of us. I'm going to actually put in the little graphic here. There we are, Dr. Leanna. She's a DO, functional medicine doctor. There's Betty Sue. There's me, holistic alternative physical therapist. Dr. Miles, naturopath doctor. And then there's Tina Hong, executive health coach. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So please join us. And that's April 21st at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central. That's Wednesday. And I'm so excited because everyone who signs up and registered is going to have access to us, and you can ask a question. So that's why we're doing it. And we created this in 2017 for all the women to have access to holistic alternative methods of healing, you know, plant medicine, what kind of water should we be drinking, and all these beautiful questions that we have. We're going to be available for everybody that day. Not that day. It's actually just, well, I'm going to try to keep it at an hour and a half. So that's important, hour to hour and a half. So everybody, please register. And next week, I'm going to be interviewing Tina Hong. So I'm so excited. Thank you, Betty Sue. I love you.
Thank you, Jackie. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. BettySueO'Brien.com. And Betty Sue is also on Facebook. It's Betty Sue Says on Facebook, but she's also on LinkedIn. So I'll try to put on the links below on Facebook. We're also on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So you can see us on different platforms. All right. Love and peace to you, Betty Sue. I love you, and love and peace to everybody. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.